top cop, Sibiya, claims the MK party is behind efforts to damage his reputation. One step closer to the truth in the Asbestos case. Cholota's bid to avoid trial has failed. AfriForum takes the NHI fight straight to the president. A court battle over healthcare reform is officially underway. And one of the largest annual religious observances on the planet is underway. Ramadan has begun. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner Sibiya says the MK party is behind efforts to tarnish his name. Testifying before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, Sibiya accused former President Jacob Zuma's party of driving KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwenazi's explosive July 6th briefing. Mkhwenazi alleged that parts of the criminal justice system in Gauteng had been captured by drug cartels and dubious businessmen. Sibiya says the MK party is politicizing SAPS and targeting him directly.
The same MK statement is being used by a Brigadier Kunena to apply for a search warrant when my house was raided. The same MK is the one that also came and marched against me at head office. As I'm sitting in the office, you hear people toying in the street, this MK party. You get TikTok messages that say, you touch Mkhwenazi, you touch us, you'll see another July unrest you've never had. There were such messages that will come.
Sibiya has been accused of having links to criminal kingpins in Gauteng with specific regard to alleged criminal tender tycoon Vusimuzi Kat Matlala.
I wanted the chair, and I want the public, and I want the seat to know that it was not spying equipment. It was equipment that should monitor what is happening, all the crimes that is committed in the city of Joburg.
Now, the Free State High Court has ruled that former Free State Premier Ace Magashula's ex-personal assistant, Borwade Cholota, will stand trial in the multi-million rand asbestos corruption case. The decision follows months of legal wrangling in the long-running case involving Magashule, businessman Edwin Sodi, and several former provincial officials. Cholota was extradited from the United States in 2024, where she'd been studying. The Constitutional Court found the extradition process was flawed, but said that alone was not enough to halt her prosecution. The matter was sent back to the High Court to determine whether she could be tried. Cholota argued the state had no case and that the court lacked jurisdiction.
I find that the state has shown beyond a reasonable doubt that there is no merit in the remaining grounds of Ms. Cholota's special plea. The following order is consequently made. 1. The remaining grounds of Ms. Cholota's special plea are dismissed. 2. This court has jurisdiction to try Ms. Cholota on the charges she is facing.
The ruling means Cholota will return to the dock alongside Ace Magashule and more than a dozen co-accused when the main trial resumes next month. Cape Flats violence sinks to another low. A shooting has killed a 9-month-old baby and 2 women in Bridgetown. Police say 3 gunmen stormed the house and opened fire on 5 people. 2 survived and are in hospital. A local organisation says the mother and baby were clients of their food bank.
This is devastating. A 9-month-old baby, a mother. These are families we know, people that live in our community, clients of ours that accessed our service. So it tells us that nowhere is safe when bullets are flying in our streets.
The shooting comes days before the SANDF deployment to gang-hit areas.
Detectives from our Serious and Violent Crimes Unit are working around the clock to identify and arrest the 3 suspects who fled the scene. All available resources have been mobilized in a bid to bring those responsible to justice.
AfriForum has served a summons on President Cyril Ramaphosa over the signing of the National Health Insurance Act. The lobby group is challenging the constitutionality of the NHI, arguing it threatens private healthcare, and was signed despite legal concerns raised during the public participation process. AfriForum says it wants the courts to set aside the president's decision to sign the bill into law. Government maintains the NHI is essential to achieving universal health coverage and says it will defend the legislation in court. Police chased them off. Within minutes, they were back. The allure of striking it rich proving just too tempting. Residents in an informal settlement in Springs are digging for rumoured gold near a disused mine shaft.
Community members at the Gugulethu informal settlement in Springs have been digging for gold at this vacant patch of land over the past few days. Earlier today, a number of heavily armed police officers swarmed this area and ensured that no one is digging for gold at this piece of land. But soon after the police officers left, they returned. As you can see behind me, community members are now beginning to arrive once again and have started digging for gold. They say they dig for the gold and then they sell it, and a gram goes for about 1,700 rand. And they say this is the only way that they know how to put food on the table. For Eyewitness News, I'm Alpha Ramshwana, Springs in Ekurhuleni.
3 more suspects arrested in the murder of e-hailing driver Isak Satlat have appeared in the Pretoria Magistrates Court. They're facing charges of premeditated murder, kidnapping and robbery with aggravating circumstances. The new arrests bring the total number of accused to 6. Lawyer for accused number 4, Kaiser Mpashlele, says his client will not apply for bail and intends to plead guilty.
There will be no point in applying for bail. Number 4, definitely we are going to abandon bail. At this point, we consulted with client and we are going to plead. We will not intend to waste anyone's time, including the state's time. We are going to plead to the charges. Yeah.
Self-confessed child killer Amberly Hughes says she believed murdering 4-year-old Nada Jane Cholota was an attempt to save her from what she described as a life of neglect. Wednesday marked the 3rd day of sentencing proceedings at the Johannesburg High Court, where Hughes presented her evidence in mitigation of sentence. The 26-year-old is charged with the rape and murder of the 4-year-old who was killed in a Glen Vista apartment while in Hughes's care on the 23rd of January 2023.
She informed me that I would have to plead on all 3 charges. That stage it was 3 charges of rape, sexual assault and murder. And I would have to plead on all 3, or I wasn't allowed to plead on just murder. Michelle also felt that my case was strong enough.
The People's Water Forum is calling on government to declare a national disaster over South Africa's ongoing water crisis. The coalition of civil society groups briefed the media at Constitution Hill in Johannesburg following weeks of water outages across the city. While some areas have seen supply restored, the forum says the stop-start pattern has dragged on for years.
Most of our municipalities across the country are failing to provide water and sanitation services to people. When you have 70% of your wastewater treatment works spewing sewage into your rivers and streams, that is a disaster because it then affects river ecosystem health. When half of our water drinking systems is not fit for drinking, that is a disaster.
And Ramadan has begun with nearly 2 billion Muslims around the world fasting from dawn to sunset for the next month. From Jakarta to Johannesburg, daily routines shift to prayer, reflection and community as families gather each evening to break their fast. The holy month will end with a celebration of Eid al-Fitr. And with that, we'll leave you. We'll see you for more again tomorrow.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent.